What is your name?
My name is Merlene Williams.
What do you do at Foster Elementary Middle School?
I am the second grade teacher.
How do you identify yourself?
As an African American woman.
African American, Black, mixed race?
African American.
Did this identification change over time?
Well, yes, a little bit. I lived in the Caribbean and I considered myself an African woman, but coming to America and becoming a citizen, I pride myself as an African American woman.
Is your cultural identity important to you?
Yes, my cultural identity is quite important to me because from my past, from slavery origin and coming through all the struggles of life, I deem it a privilege to be able to pass down the values that I've learned to the little ones. So it is so important to me.
Have you always lived in the same area you do today?
Oh no, I have lived in Trinidad, which is an island way down south, very close to Venezuela, the top of South America. I've lived there for quite a number of years, and living in America for the past maybe 30 years, it has changed a little bit.
How has where you lived has shaped your identity as African American or Black person?
Okay, being in Trinidad and Tobago, we had two distinct cultures. We had the East Indian and we had the African origin. So I pride myself as a woman of African origin there. And then coming to America and going through all the struggles as an African American woman, it has done a little bit of changing.
What was the experience of your grandparents and parents as people of color?
Oh, my grandparents. Well, growing up in Trinidad, I was very close to my paternal grandfather, and he came from the descendants of slaves coming from an island called Martinique. And I think his grandfather was a slave in the island of Martinique and coming down from Martinique to Trinidad and Tobago. And he was a blacksmith by trade, and he instilled deep culture, deep African culture, knowing the struggles that the African went through in the Caribbean impacted him quite a lot, and it passed down to me.
Did their racial identity affect what they did for a living?
Well, yes, because in Trinidad and Tobago, we were ruled by the British, and we had sort of a white leader, and African American, they held tight to what they believed and the struggle to keep their identity. My grandfather, he worked very hard, and he influenced quite a lot of people in his community to be brave and to stand strong for what they believed.
Was there any you felt you couldn't do because of your race or identity?
No, I always planned I wanted to be a teacher since I was little, and I kept at that, so I lived out my beliefs and what I wanted to be.
Have you ever experienced racism, and how did you react?
Well, yes, I experienced racism maybe in college. And I had to work sort of twice as hard as my American counterpart, and I'm talking about Caucasian, and it affected me. And then living in the city, I lived in the city for quite a number of years, and I see the disparity in the grocery stores, and all those different things affected the way I look at the races in America.
Has those events affected your life?
Yes, it made me a stronger woman.
Do you have a hero while growing up?
Yes, I have a hero. One of the persons I look up to is a woman called Merle Evers Williams. She was the wife of Medgar Evers, and Medgar Evers was one of the persons who was killed. He was one of the leaders of the NAACP, and he was gunned down, I think, in the 60s. And she lived strong bringing up a family without a husband, and then coming to be the leader of the NAACP. So that really spurred my enthusiasm to live out my belief.
Okay. Who was it and why do you honor them? You always said that.
Well, as I say, it's Millie Evers Williams, and I honor her for standing up for her beliefs and being a strong African American woman.
And that is all.
Well, thank you so very much.